This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm here at Foothills Painting. Since 2010, this premier painting company has been providing the best in quality and customer service all along the Front Range. I'm here with the co-founders, Ben, Eric. Thanks for joining us, guys. Let's start off a little bit about you guys. You're Colorado natives. Both you guys got your formal education right here in the college hometown. Yep. Share with me, Eric, what got you involved in this line of work?
When I was in college at CSU, I worked with a national painting company, CollegeWorks Painting, who hires college students, then trains them and helps them run a painting company over the spring and summer. So I did that as an internship when I was a freshman at CSU. I ended up working with that company for the next 5 years through school. When I got out of school, I really wanted to be an entrepreneur, and one thing I knew how to do was run a painting company.
So. Wonderful. Ben, how did you get involved here with Eric as well?
Actually, yeah, same thing. I also did CollegeWorks Painting my freshman year of college, and I did that for a year, and I was promoted, and then I chose to not take the promotion, and I heard Eric was starting up his own company, and I always looked up to him and really wanted, kind of loved what he had to say and do, and so I chose to kind of go on with him and kind of go with him, and I've been a sales rep for him first, and then I took over ownership about like a year and a half ago. So.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting, great. Quite honestly, there's probably nothing more than we can do that is noticeable than putting a fresh coat of paint on our home, be it exterior or interior. Is this kind of a fun process to help that transformation come alive?
Yes, and one thing that I think I've really enjoyed about the growth of our business is just we really believe in taking care of our employees and our customers. So, paint jobs don't always go smooth in the construction business, and I think everyone's really familiar with that. And what we take a lot of pride in is just really taking care of our customers and making sure we make everybody happy, no matter what happens on different jobs. We've got a bunch of rain going on right now, and that throws off the schedule, so it's really important to us to just take care of our customers. So that's what I enjoy the most, is actually creating a business that really takes care of the customers through the process. And, obviously we want to make sure that the house looks great at the end. So one thing we did this year is we brought on like a full-time color consultant to help people choose their colors and really enjoy the colors that they pick, to make sure that the end product is great, but also that the process was smooth and a good experience for them.
Wonderful. Speaking of the process, they say the devil is in the details, and that really is one place that you can differentiate between the professional versus an amateur. We're talking about the details before the even paint goes on, preparation. Let's talk about that. How important is that in the longevity of a job?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Gary. Prep work is like probably 90% of the whole process. What's underneath the paint is going to really depend how long the paint job lasts. If you don't prep right, if you maybe cut corners and don't get the old paint off before the painting, it's just not going to last as long. So we pride ourselves in taking the time to make sure that before the paint goes on, all the cruddy or all the stuff below the paint is really removed. That's taking off the old paint with scraping. That's priming the bare wooded areas, and that's caulking. Any cracks, nail holes, among other things. So
we're talking about full power washing on the exterior, caulking, scraping, sanding. These are all steps that probably take a good amount of time. And is this something that a lot of folks, sometimes other competitors possibly don't do well?
I think so, for definitely. It's easy to cut corners, and it's what we found is that it's really easy not to, and you can definitely tell. When you walk up to a house, we'll go and do an estimate on a house that it was only painted 2 or 3 years ago, and it's really apparent when people skip the prep work, and you can even tell right when a job is finished if those things were skipped over. And it does take time, but it doesn't take that much time to do it right, and that's what we really want to make sure we do, is make sure that we're doing it right.
So it's a lot more than just taping up as a consumer would see it. I mean, sometimes you actually have to replace boards that are possibly warped by the weather, and is that something a lot of times the consumer doesn't even realize?
Yeah, and that's part of our estimate process. I think a lot of companies kind of drop off a number and a quick bid, and something we like to do is actually sit down with our customers, walk around the house, identify the different problems that are on the house, let them know if there are boards that they need to consider replacing before there's any painting done. And actually walk around the house and customize the quotes for the customers, because it's not very often that you actually walk around your house and really inspect it, in a lot of detail. And that's part of our estimate process, is walking our customers around and doing that.
So not only walking out on the outside, but if you're doing an interior job, I imagine you have to, even much more importance because of the fact you have valuables within the home. We're talking about furniture that needs to be covered as well as valuables. Is that something that you take pride in?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, is the prep work for inside. I mean, people are inside a lot more than they are on the outside of their house, and so it's very important to make sure all valuables are taken off the wall, and all things are really moved to the middle, where we can drop cloth over those and then mask over those drop cloths. Just make sure there's no room for error in that, everything is really masked off well. And that's also why Eric touched on the color consultant, because color is a huge part of the interior as well. And that's why we brought him on this year, is to really make sure people are taken care of and really find the colors that they're going to look at and live with for the next 5, 10, 20 years.
Wonderful. Okay, so the preparation is totally complete. We're ready to put some paint on there. Is this paint that the customers sat down and already chosen with you? And what are some of the brands that you guys recommend?
Primarily, we'll use Qual and Sherwin-Williams. However, we do have customers sometimes request different types of paint, which we are always happy to take care of, and we can do that. But primarily Sherwin-Williams and Qual. And there's a range of different types of paint. And that's something that we also do at the estimate, is inform the customers of what their options are and what we recommend using depending on what their needs and wants are. For example, someone who's trying to, keep it inexpensive so that they can make the house look nice to sell, we're not going to recommend that they go with the top of the line paint. Someone who's planning on being in this house for a long time and they want to paint it and not have to paint for a long time, we're going to recommend a higher end paint. So, it really is a tailored estimate to whatever people's needs are. And then as far as the colors of the paint, again, we have a color consultant. We do test swatches and make sure that people like the colors before we're going on and painting the whole house.
So really it's taking a customized approach with each customer out there as well. I mean, quite honestly, the weather changes on a dime here in Colorado. We've got snow one day, rain the next day. Does this particular weather really cause havoc, not only on the exterior of the home, but what about on the fences that are around these homes? And is that something you guys provide for as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, fences and decks take a really pretty bad beating. Stain is not as protective as paint is. It actually penetrates wood versus paint sits on top, and so it's a better covering, better protection to paint. So, but stain looks great. You have a better looking. Or I guess I shouldn't say better looking, but some people like that stain look more, where you can see the wood look a bit more. Right. And so yeah, big thing with stain products and fences and decks is making sure you take the time to really power wash the old flaking stain off and really getting out the old kind of blackened areas with a wire brush or sanding before you lay on that coat of stain.
So you're going to open up the pores so the paint comes in as well. Interior, exterior, residential. What about commercial property? Is this something you guys are able to service as well?
Yeah, we do small to medium size, I would say. We haven't tackled any gigantic, commercial projects, but we have started to do more and more of that. We did the Campus West apartments and a couple pharmacies and some things like that. So, there's definitely a need there. I think there's even more problems in the commercial side of the painting business, as far as people not doing what they say they're going to do and fulfilling what their promises are and doing things on time and keeping a schedule. And sometimes it's even more important on commercial projects to do that. So there's definitely a need there, and we've always focused on residential until really like the last year and a half or so. We started doing more and more commercial work, and we expect to continue to do more commercial painting, as well as continuing to grow our residential side of our painting business.
Fantastic. And one of the reasons, obviously, that you're successful is the fact that you're upfront about everything, not only a verbal, but as well as a written. What takes place at that estimate, and what do you provide back for the folks before you actually get on the job?
So basically, when we're going around the house, so we meet with customers, we sit down with them, we talk with them about some basic things, we walk around the house and identify some of those problem areas. As we're going around, we're also recommending different solutions to things to come up with their options. So we find that it's usually really useful for customers to see a range of options, to actually choose from. So once we've done that, we take some time to walk around the house and measure it and write up all the different options that we can provide for them. And all of that gets written up on our written agreement, so that there's nothing left out. Usually as I'm going around the house with customers, I'm taking notes. And so our estimators are taking notes to make sure that there's nothing that is missed. And once customers schedule with us, we make sure all of those things are all written down, so that there's no loss of communication from the time that the job is scheduled all the way through the completion of the job, to make sure the painters know exactly what's being done, and all those things are written. So I think that's really important.
And is this an estimate that is free for the consumer?
Of course.
Okay, so you guys come out, do all this beforehand, communicate what it's going to cost, and upfront about everything. Let me ask you this. Obviously, you're talking about paint that gets worn from a home outside. What about new construction? Is this a place where it's pretty important to get it done right the first time?
I think anything it's best to do right the first time. A lot of times though, what we found with new construction is, they're trying to get it done so inexpensively. We've never found ourselves doing a lot of new construction for builders because they're trying to get these houses done for as low a cost as they can. So we've never even been able to be low enough on price to be able to compete on these jobs because they just want the prices so low. If you're doing your own home and like custom home, I think it is worth paying a little extra money to get it done right, because you see a lot of these houses that were built only 5 or 6 years ago and the paint's chalking and fading, and it looks terrible very very quickly, and it shouldn't be falling apart that quickly.
Excellent. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you can take a look at the different services they offer out there. Check out the testimonials. You're going to find them on Facebook. You're going to find them online. And quite honestly, you're not going to find a bad one out there, because these guys take pride in the fact that they're going to get it done right the first time. They want to make sure and communicate with you that the customer is the important person here. And they're basically going to set up an estimate for you that they're going to stick by. We're talking about time frame. We're talking about coming on the right dollar amount. You can guarantee that this is going to be a job that will last you as long as it should. One of the things that I notice out there is a lot of the contractors, they really are able to stand behind their labor, or they're able to stand behind their product. You guys are actually, with your warranty, you pretty much are standing behind both.
Yeah, there's a lot of fine print with warranties, and with our warranty, we take care of every customer who calls us. If you painted with us and you have an issue with your paint job, we're going to come and take care of it, and inside of the agreement for a 2-year or 5-year warranty. And oftentimes, if a customer calls us up and it's been a little longer than that, we still choose to take care of our customers, because that's important to us, is taking care of our customers, and we want repeat business. We want to be referred, and we want our paint jobs to last. So.
Excellent. Has this been a rewarding line of work for you so far, watching people's houses really transform before your eyes? And what area of Colorado here are you guys able to work within?
Yeah, I mean, it's very rewarding. I think it's more rewarding just, running just a sound business that people enjoy working with. Business, I don't know, I guess there's not as good contractors out there, and so it's fun to just take care of people. And things go wrong, like problems happen, and we just always take care of those problems, and we make sure that people feel like taken care of, and even when things do go wrong, we fix them. So it's a big thing for us, yeah.
Excellent. Viewers, last time, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. You're going to see their contact information. It's really as simple as getting online, filling out the form there, and they will come out and do a free estimate for you. This is a company that began back in 2010 by some Colorado natives right here in Fort Collins, Colorado. That is Foothills Painting. Quality, integrity, and commitment to you. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.